Un aplauso para los nuevos miembros.
And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, Bitcoin Ben, here for the daily what in the pluck is going on in cryptocurrencies and the rest of the world. I don't know if you guys heard, but apparently President Trump does not like Tylenol. I don't know if he got that across last night. I think he said, don't take Tylenol like 100 times, the whole friggin' thing. For all of us in the know, all of us conspiracy theorists, we've known all of this for years. I mean, Trump and RFK were actually talking about this 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And what we have now is we actually have a presidency, and we have a group of people in the government that actually like the American people. All right. This is something we haven't ever had for the last, ever since I'd say JFK, maybe a little bit earlier. Reagan was trying to do good. They got his mind right, if you know what I mean. Now we have a president, we have RFK, we have all of these true Americans who love the American people, who are not actually part of this global hatred of the Western world. And that's what it is, guys. We've had 125, if not longer. We're talking pre-Civil War. Pre-Civil War. Now, let's look what is going on. We have Trump and RFK basically breaking down, all right, what is going on with vaccines? What is going on with aspirin? Tylenol. Don't take Tylenol, y'all. I don't know if you heard or not. We have an announcement today that is coming out that, from what I heard, now mind you, I don't know the announcement. I have friends who do, but they were told if they tell or if they preempt the announcement, they'll never get information again. That is when you have a hot cup of shut the up and just listen and let this roll out. All right. From what I can gather, Trump, at his lecture, I'm going to call it a lecture, or his announcement, his proclamation, yeah, let's call it a proclamation, that the global world order is done. They are absolutely done. And what we're rolling into now is a new digital world order, a new world order that rips out the control of the global banking system. And because that's what's at the heart of this. That's what is at the heart of all of this, is the global banks, the progressive structure that was put in right after Civil War. And there's a reason that every progressive, George Soros, new scum, is all just freaking out over what is going on. And yesterday, when they had the press conference about the vaccines, that was them letting everyone know, nope, shit's changed. You are not going to murder our people. You are not going to hurt our children. Guys, this is all leading to what will eventually be the Nuremberg trials part 2. Now, if you don't know what the Nuremberg trials were, that's when we had Mengele, right? Mengele was the German, I don't want to call him a doctor, mad scientist who was basically using Jews and others to actually experiment on them. That's what these vaccines were. They learned, because think about it, guys, they announced yesterday, no more mercury in any vaccines. Doesn't that sound like common sense? Look at the new light bulbs. If you break them, if you break a new light bulb, one of the mercury light bulbs, you have to call a hazmat company. Wait a second. If I break a light bulb, I have to call a hazmat company to clean it up because it has mercury in it. But yet, we can put mercury into vaccines and then give them the old 1-2 tree jab. Guys, what they're showing us is what we've already known. Eugenics. This is the global medical eugenics system. This is where they use medicine to poison us and eliminate us. It's common knowledge. Well, no, it's information available to the public that they never looked into because they thought it was after. No. Doctors, they take a Hippocratic oath. Really? Because those same fucking doctors have wallets. And those same fucking doctors, look, never assume that someone is intelligent because they're a doctor. I've known several doctors I wouldn't ask a simple question to. I know several people who have multiple master's degrees. I wouldn't ask them for the recipe of boiling water. Education does not mean intelligence or knowledge. Education is really just them learning the system or them learning their place in the system. They don't know the whole system. They just know their place. All right? And that's completely fucking different than anything else of knowing true health of humans. All right? We used to have general practice doctors that were educated on approximately what we knew about the human body. They were even lied to in the old days because the system was created to medicate. That's why we have the big pharma. Everything that goes wrong with the human, there's a cure for it in nature. The old ways knew that. But they actually called them witches or warlocks or some horse shit. They labeled them as, oh, well, you know, they're evil, they're Satanists, they're this and they're that. No, a lot of the witches, they're not the Satanists. That's not what witch means. Right? Witches were naturalist. That's what a witch was. They used elements from the earth to heal humans. In a lot of, just look at last night, the Amish. The Amish have no autism. None. What do the Amish not get? Vaccines. They don't swing over to the doctor, and God forbid they don't take Tylenol. We have been poisoned for years, and that translates into the second part of the poisoning. They have poisoned our money. They have poisoned our economy with fiat. That was always the plan. See, it isn't that the Federal Reserve is stupid. It isn't that the Federal Reserve just, you know, they're always late. No, the system was created to destroy America. It's like it's like having a glass of mercury and drinking it and going, gee, I wonder why I don't feel better. Because you're ingesting the poison into your system. And that's what they did. The poison was the progressive globalist Federal Reserve system. Because that system infected the American system. And what is the Federal Reserve? They are a parasite. They are an economic parasite on the productivity of the American people. Now, what were they created to do? They were created to rip the wealth out of the hands of the American people and transfer that wealth to the federal government and all of the federal government henchmen. That's why America has been financialized, because they can't manipulate a factory. But what they can do is manipulate the price of money. They can manipulate the interest rate. I watch CNBC, I watch Bloomberg, I watch all of these fucking retards up there talking about, oh, this market and this company didn't hit expectations, so the company's wrong. Think about that. What if I said the sun's not going to come up today, but then it comes up and everyone blames the sun? Well, the sun shouldn't have came up because my expectations were not met. That's the insanity that these fucking retards on Wall Street live by. They think reality is subservient to their expectations. I used to tell my kids this. When you show up late, you blame the clock, not realizing the clock is just tick-tock. The reason you're late is you're late. The clock is not late. The clock is not early. The clock is a fucking reality. And yet we have, guys, when you watch Bloomberg, CNN, CNBC, all that shit, that is all just advertising for the financial system. That's it. Oh, you should buy Apple. We think you should buy this. And then the herd, which they themselves call the dumb money, the market did this. The market, really? Which market? Is it the futures market? Is it the shorting market? Or is it the spot market? And are they using, or are they talking about all of the derivatives in the market? Because it's all just bullshit. It's all paper bullshit. Guys, think about this. They have been attacking the Bitcoin forever. Forever. In 2017, or was it 2018? I don't remember. I think 2017. They launched the Bitcoin's futures market. December, I think it was 18th. Yeah, December 18th, 2018 or 2017. I don't remember exactly. But what happened to the price of Bitcoin? It got slapped down. All right. Why? For the first time in history, they launched a futures market on a commodity that did not have a spot market. Think about that. They launched a futures market on something that did not have an ETF. The first time in history. Why? Because they wanted to use the capital of the markets to suppress the price of Bitcoin. Guys, we're dealing with people who aren't in it for profit. We are actually dealing with people who print the money. They print the money, then use the money to slam prices down or short Michael Saylor, because they're using the money they print out of thin fucking air. They're using it against the strongest currency in the world, which is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin eventually doesn't give a fuck, because eventually there are more hodlers than there are sellers. Then we're off to the races. I watch people flip out. We went from 117 to 112. Oh no. And they actually get depressed. They get emotionally depressed watching the price of a commodity go down. Guys, have a Red Bull, smoke a cigarette, and fucking relax. The price of the Bitcoin going up is just like waiting for the sun to come up. We have nothing to worry about, guys. Look, I'll give you an example. I remember this like it was fucking yesterday. I think it was in early 2017, or like mid 2017, maybe a little bit earlier. The Bitcoin hit $1,200. And I actually purchased some more Bitcoin at $1,200. When I went on my show, you know how many people laughed at me for fucking buying the top? I remember it. I'm sitting there watching the fucking chat, and they're like, oh, there goes Ben buying the top. That is cockroach thinking. That's ant thinking. Oh, you bought the top, Ben, at $1,200. We're at 100 and whatever we're at, like 112 or whatever. We're at $112,000 per Bitcoin. What's the difference in how I think and how they think? They saw $1,200 as the top. Those are the same people who buy XRP. I'm just joking, guys. I like to fuck with my XRP people. We have Trump rolling out a strategic reserve. And I don't think people realize the weapon he's about to load into the federal government and into the swamp. As he implements this, and as they implement this, guys, they're not just thinking about putting this in a reserve and not doing anything with it. Trump, just like the stablecoin bill, Trump is going to use asset values to create the stable coins he's going to roll out. We see it over and over in history, guys. This is what JFK did. JFK was setting up to launch a new currency, the Kennedy dollar, That was the initial rollout because he was going to back it with silver. Has anyone ever asked, why did JFK choose silver and not gold? Because gold is the elite's money. Why do you think the price of gold is going up right now? Anyone? Bueller? Because they're doing to gold what Trump is doing to Bitcoin. They're going to use that price appreciation of gold to recapitalize their countries. Trump is going to use the Bitcoin because remember when he first got in and we heard, oh, we're going to audit fucking Fort Knox. I guarantee they went into that empty closet and went, oh, fuck. And you didn't hear a peep out of Trump saying, we're going to increase our gold reserves. No. Trump's like, yeah, we're fucked. Okay, let's go with this Bitcoin thing. Because what Trump is doing is he's just like the founding fathers did. The founding fathers. Why do you think we have standard and metrics? Because the founding fathers switched to a new weights and measurement system to remove itself out of the old system. Why do you think the founding fathers went with silver and not gold? Because even back then, gold was the elite money. Silver was the people's money. Now, Trump is splitting the systems, right? The Chinese, the Russians, they're all going to pump up gold. Good for them. I think we got a little bit of gold, maybe not as much as we supposedly have, but don't even worry about gold because the higher the price goes, the more they'll dig out of the fucking ground, right? So this is what Trump is doing. He's taking, think about this, folks, he's taking a new decentralized monetary store of value. We haven't had a new monetary store of value since silver. He's not saying, hey guys, I want to build a reserve asset out of fucking bananas. No, a reserve asset is oil. A reserve asset is natural gas. A reserve asset is land. A reserve asset is gold. A reserve asset is silver. It has to be an asset that cannot be destroyed over a long period of time. Oil, right? Listen to me, guys. Oil does not degrade if it's sealed. Oil is already earth juice. Gold does not degrade. Silver does not degrade. The Bitcoin does not degrade. Where we're at, guys, is we're at the point where someone way back in history said, hey, this gold shit's kind of rare. There's like a limited supply of gold. maybe we should think about using this as a unit of exchange. Fuck them shells. Let's get some gold. That's where we're at. We're at the point where the globe is now agreeing on the new gold. Now, mind you, remember, guys, there is so much inflation in the world. So much inflation. Let the price of gold go up. Let the price of Bitcoin go up. What are they doing? They're transitioning the old fiat system, and they're pushing all of that monetary value into the new currencies. This has never been done before, guys. Even when eventually everyone kind of adopted gold, there were still countries that didn't have any fucking gold. They couldn't mine for gold. Why do you think they're choosing Bitcoin? This levels the playing fields. You can have absolutely no gold, none at all, and you can mine Bitcoin. The future is not GDP, it's GBT, gross Bitcoin production per country, because it equals the field. Where if you live up in Alaska, if you can generate energy cheaply, you can mine Bitcoin. Every nation in the world can mine some Bitcoin. Ooga booga 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 can, if of course that place doesn't exist. But if it did, Ooga booga booga stan could plug in miners. If Ooga booga 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 Ooga booga stan had power generation. This is the decentralization of money globally. Because if you got a shit ton of oil, the Bitcoin is worth more per what do they call it? Oil is measured in, what is it, pins, or they measure oil in a certain, what is it like a gem of energy, or a joule of energy. All right. A joule of energy put into the Bitcoin using oil is more profitable than the oil. Yes, joules. Thank you. All right. So, so now, oil, that's why we hit negative oil a few years ago. They were actually paying people to hold the oil. The energy that comes out of a barrel of oil is more valuable put into the Bitcoin than putting it into a car. Think about that. They can make more money holding their own oil and turning it in like kerosene and gasoline and diesel and all this other. They can make more money flipping that oil into gasoline, kerosene, diesel, all that shit, and then mining the Bitcoin with it, then they can selling it for go-go juice. We're in a new world, and that's what Trump is going to talk about today. The new world. That's why Trump, I know you've all heard it, Trump has said the Bitcoin is the new oil, because in the old days, you made more money per joules of oil, which is energy from oil, joules, in plastics and petroleum and diesel and all of the derivatives of oil. You made more money in that system at that time. So we transferred off of gold to the petrodollar. Now we are transferring off of the petrodollar into the Bitcoin dollar and gold. See, our new currency that the Treasury launches will be actually fundamentally backed with gold and Bitcoin, oil, and land. The 4 largest commodities in the world. Yeah, of course they are. Sounds like the United Nations is giving Trump a hard time. Of course, because he's announcing that they're irrelevant. The United Nations is the entity that was created after World War II. Remember, after World War I, they tried to launch the League of Nations. And America said, fuck you. So they needed another war. Well, we couldn't get our global governance structure in, so we're going to have to blow some more shit up. Then after World War II, all of a sudden, no, we aren't going to try that League of Nations shit on you guys. No, of course not. Let us introduce the United Nations. And how they marketed was no more wars. If we set up the United Nations, there will be no more wars. Really? Because there's been a lot of fucking wars since World War II. So how'd that work out? Not very good. See, Trump should just buy the UN building and make it a park. Like a skating rink like he did up in New York. No, if I was Trump, I'd arrest every motherfucker in there. They're on U.S. soil. Fuck them. But that's just me. That's why I'm not president. See, everyone says Trump's a radical. Oh, yes, great point. Like Jason Lowry said way back when, kinetic energy protection power play, soft war. Exactly. Trump is not a radical, he's a rationalist. Trump looks at the true situation. Guys, the Federal Reserve is not lowering interest rate because the economy's bad. The Federal Reserve is lowering interest rate because we are in the middle and almost at the crossing point of AI, robotics, national debt going absolutely friggin' crazy all over the world. Every single fiat currency is down. The US dollar is down. Everything is down. The UK is absolutely fucked. Here's an example. All right. 4 years ago, 180,000 students a year left university over in Europe and got jobs. This year, 80,000. That thing from 180,000 to 80,000. And those 80,000, only 40,000 of them have jobs. Guys, the unemployment rate of college graduates is at 9%. We're talking college graduates. And these are not young college graduates. This is across the board. This is people who waited till they were in their 30s and they went back to college and they graduated. AI is eating up white collar jobs like it's fucking going out of style. And the only hope for the West, why do you think UK and the US government came to an agreement last week before he went over to the UK at Windsor Palace, Windsor Castle, and had the red carpet and then some rolled out for him? Trump just told the UN they're funding the migrants. He knows this. He's breaking down truth. He's basically telling them, I see you motherfuckers. I see you punks. I see what you're doing. This is why, guys. This is why I have told you guys, please get some Bitcoin. Get some Bitcoins. We can help you get a loan and get some Bitcoin. You want to buy some Bitcoin and you have a credit card? Give us a call. 941-413-8080. And remember, this is no KYC. This is no KYC Bitcoin. This is what I'm talking about, guys. We are front running the new global system. The Chinese will buy Bitcoin. Don't worry. That's not a problem. They're focused on jacking up their own bags. They own a fuck ton of gold. A fuck ton of gold. They are going to pump their bags, then use that value or use that price appreciation, because China has their own digital currency. They have their own CBDC. And they can print more of those as their assets go up, because they're replacing productivity with price productivity. They are transferring into, well, China is transferring back into a gold standard. So is Russia. But Russia and China are also going to be buying and mining, right, Whoa, what was this? Hey, oh, hey, Ben, YouTube just announced terminated accounts can apply for reinstatement. Ho, ho, ho. If they give me back my old channel where I had well over 100 and something thousand subs, we're off to the races, folks. Yeah, when they initially cut me off, I was actually gaining 5,000 subs a week. But then I was a little bit too truthful. Hey, this is what I want you guys to do. Give us a call, 941-413-8080, and just ask a simple question. How can you help me get some Bitcoin? Some non-KYC Bitcoin? How can you help me get some private fucking Bitcoin? Guys, I've been flying this flag, like I told you earlier, I've been flying this flag since friggin' Bitcoin was $600 and Litecoin was $3 and Ethereum was $7. Please, I'm still flying the flag because, guys, the market cap of the Bitcoin is $2 trillion. Actually, a little bit higher than that. Guys, we are going, and I'm not exaggerating, in the future, check me on this, the Bitcoin market cap will absolutely hit $800 trillion. Everyone right now is like, wait, $800 trillion? How the hell is that possible? Guys, what we need to understand is everything's evaluation right now is in today's amount of dollars. You don't think over the next 10 years, money printer go burr? Trump, just with the Genius Act, is gonna burr the shit out of the stable coins, out of the Treasury Department. You know how many people are lined up to buy a bunch of Treasury bonds to launch stable coins? Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. That's coming, guys. YouTube should decentralize, tokenize, and put it in the people's hands so we vote these shenanigans. They would make more money. Yes, guys, I'm telling you, YouTube will have its own stable coin. YouTube, Google, Alphabet will buy U.S. treasuries. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you right now, this is what's coming. This is not me fucking high in the sky dreaming. All right, the rule change today from the SEC, we ain't even talked about that. The SEC now says that they are going to let crypto projects just go, run with it, because they understand the SEC, they have no authority except in America. They can't regulate cryptos, and they know it, so they're not even gonna fucking try. They're basically saying, well, We're looking at a shit ton of cats. There's a bunch of cats running everywhere. We can't herd cats. So we're not even going to try and herd cats. They're going to leave it up to the open market. I've heard so many people go, well, that fucking Dogecoin, that ain't shit. Okay, let the market decide. Even my XRP, like I said, I am not anti-XRP. That's a digital technology. I'm anti-Ripple Corporation. Now, from what I hear, Ripple Corporation's about to sing a different fucking tune because they see what's coming. And and Ripple went from giving a shit ton of money over to fucking camel toe, and now they're about to kneel at the feet of Trump. They're about to absolutely get down on their knees and do whatever Ripple needs to do to join up with this, what's going on. These projects, right? These projects. Yeah. Oh, any divvy update, Ben? Yeah. Don't give up on these cryptos. If you hold a bag, hold it. Guys, we are going into a parabolic technological run where the SEC just announced, yeah, we can't really do anything about cryptos because they're global, they're decentralized, a lot of them. So that's like walking outside when it's raining and trying to dodge raindrops. Good fucking luck. The SEC knows they have no authority, no power, so they're not even going to try. Which is the right way to do it. That's called a free market. Let the market decide if Doge has value. Let the XRP community decide if XRP has value. Let the world decide if actual Bitcoin has value. I think we've already answered that question. And I think all right, Great Gonzo. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, brother. How are you? I'm anti-scammer. Okay. See, this is where people need to let their brains open up a little bit. Scammer is relative. Who here thinks the Federal Reserve is a scammer? Who here thinks the Republican Party is a scammer? Who here thinks that Ripple is a scammer? Am I right? No. Let me tell you what a scammer is. Somebody who runs up to you, knocks the fuck clean out of you, and takes your wallet. That's a scammer. Now, if you hop on an exchange and you actually buy a token and then it goes to fucking zero, guess what you didn't get? Scammed. You chose to buy the fucking token. Claim some fucking responsibility just because you didn't get. Now, what if you actually purchased that token and it went to the moon? would you claim it and go, oh, look what I bought, look how smart I was? But if it goes to zero, you got scammed. I got scammed. I got scammed. Right. Exactly. Nobody says it's a scam when they make money. Absolutely. You know how many people in the old system, think about it, guys. How long, all right? How long have we heard, oh, the Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme? The Bitcoin's a scam. We've heard it forever. So should we have listened to them and said, oh, that Bitcoin must be a scam? Thank God none of you did. Thank God thank God I didn't. Because what did we do? We researched it, we made a decision, and we bought. Yeah. And this is a great example. Exactly. Banks are the biggest scam. Think about this, guys. Try to live your life without a bank. Try to run a business without a bank. When you are forced, right? When you are forced to use a product, that product can be leveraged against you. That's what the banks are doing. Exactly. Rick, my boy, the Bitcoin Ben historian, Rick Costa. How many times did they say, oh, Bitcoin's dead? Oh, well, it had a good run. Oh, that Bitcoin, man. Oh, rest in peace, Bitcoin. We heard that scammers prey on good people's good intentions. I would say scammers prey on good people's greedy intentions. That's how I would phrase that. The reason you are buying a coin is for the price to go up. You greedily want it to go up. It isn't. Yeah, oh, thank you, Paul. Yeah, because let's all be honest here. What originally got us into cryptos? Was it the decentralizing effect of the network that would slowly rip apart the government and free all the humans into this utopia of humanity? Fuck no. It was, I want more money. That's what we all got hooked on price go up. That was the smell of the Bitcoin flower that brought us bees in to get some honey. All right, I'm sorry, some nectar. Price go up is the best marketing ever. Exactly, number go up. Because if number goes up, people be like, yeah. But now we're at a point where number goes up and none of us want to sell it. You know why we don't want to sell it? Because what are we selling it for? Man, I'm going to sell my Bitcoin and I'm going to get some pieces of paper. Guys, we're reaching a point where soon, and this is rolling out more and more every week, soon you'll be able to shop with your Bitcoin. Let me explain what that means. When you can shop with your Bitcoin, all right? Imagine, oh, hang on one second, guys. Fuck this, I'm drawing it. Okay. Everyone see this? All right. Let's pretend this is price right here. All right. Let's say you have rent due and you have $100,000 worth of Bitcoin right here. Then it jumps up to $102,000. Well, right there, if you actually pay your rent right there at 102, part of your rent was free. Think about that. Part of your rent is free if you actually pay on a high. That is what you can do when you live on the Bitcoin standard. Guys, I've been doing this for fucking years now. Years. This is what's coming because we are transitioning out of the old dollar system into the new currency of the future. We are front running the rest of the world. Some of us have been front running this bitch for years, but those new, you're still front running. You're front running every corporation, all right? Every corporation will be buying Bitcoin. Every government will be accumulating Bitcoin. Missouri will have a Bitcoin reserve. Florida will have a Bitcoin reserve. Texas will have a Bitcoin reserve. I think they already do. I think they announced that. I don't remember exactly, but I think so. And how are they going to get it? Hey, if you owe the government money, pay us in Bitcoin. That's how all the companies are going to accumulate. Look at Sheetz gas station. Now, mind you, I swung over to a Sheetz and asked them, hey, what about this Bitcoin thing? That poor gal had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. She was like, yeah, we ain't been trained on that yet. So they're in the training process, or they're eventually going to train their employees how to accept Bitcoin. Yes, but they took taking off the plan. Jim, why are you worried about their plan? That's something else, guys. We're sitting here watching all of these regulatory and all of these things. There are websites, help, in Exodus Wallet, you can stake your shit. The government is all they want is Bitcoin. That's it. They want Bitcoin. They don't give a fuck about staking. They don't give a fuck about none of that bullshit. They want Bitcoin because the government looks at it from a government peer system. Like America gives a shit what China's government is doing. All right? China's government gives a shit what American government's doing. Russia's government gives a shit about what America's government's doing. That's it. Right. It's we're in a transition, guys. And all is great. All is good. We are kicking ass and taking names. And I'm going to tell everyone, just like I told everyone when I bought Bitcoin at $1,200, buy more. And my clubs and my organization has set it up. Buy some Bitcoin. We can help you get a loan to buy Bitcoin. We can get you a loan to buy Bitcoin. We can refinance your house and use the equity to buy Bitcoin. We have so many offers. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I pinky swear, everyone watching right now, just write this number down, 941-413-8080. And I don't even care if you have called us before and we've gotten you more Bitcoin. Give us a call and say, hey, you guys helped me get some Bitcoin. How can I get some more? We've got ways, guys. In fact, don't forget, we just launched the exclusive Bitcoin Ben Liver trade-in for actual Bitcoin program. So you send us your liver and we'll send you some Bitcoin. This is a test. We're just rolling this out. We, in a few weeks, we might offer lungs. You send us a lung, we give you some Bitcoin. We're working with China to see exactly what the exchange rate is. Okay, guys, I am going to wrap this up. Give us a call, 941-413-8080. We can get you some Bitcoin. Ask us how. Yes, absolutely. Pretty soon we'll offer kidneys. All right. You need a club here in East Coast, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. We have one in Massachusetts. In Leominster, Massachusetts, we have a club up there. Gee, I don't know about pancreas. Are they really useful? I don't know. I don't know how much, especially yours, Patrick. I don't know how much yours would be worth. I can look into it. Okay, everyone have a great day. One more time, 941-413-8080, and give us a call and just ask a simple question. How can you help me get some Bitcoin? Now, mind you, we also offer Ethereum and Solana. We did that like a month ago, I think. Yeah. So if you want Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana, we offer that now too. Okay, cheapskate. All right, Patrick, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Everyone, have a great day. When you gonna be there? I just left there, brother. I was actually there this weekend. Everyone have a great day. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same channel, with Patrick, unless he can't get a day pass from the retirement home. Then it'll just be me. Oh, look, there's Patrick. You're on. Oh, good. This is the hour they give him internet time. Everyone have a great day. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Tired of jumping through hoops to buy Bitcoin? Frustrated with endless paperwork and invasive identity checks? Introducing Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club's loan program. No KYC required. Say goodbye to the hassle and hello to freedom. Borrow up to $250,000 at as little as 7% interest. Join our community and take control of your financial future. Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where privacy meets opportunity. Connect with like-minded individuals and grow together. Visit us today and unlock your $250,000 Bitcoin loan. Your journey to financial freedom starts here.